So, you're thinking about studying abroad, and Germany is on your radar. Smart move. It's one of the hottest spots for education in the world right now. In this explainer, we're going to break down the entire journey for you, from figuring out how to apply all the way to what happens after you graduate. Let's dive right in. Okay, so we've broken this whole thing down into a 5-step roadmap for you. First, we'll get into why Germany is such an amazing choice. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty, how to get accepted, how to handle that visa process, and what life as a student is really like. And to wrap it all up, we'll look at the incredible doors that open up for you after you get that degree. So, first things first. Why are so many students from all over the world flocking to Germany? What's the big deal? Let's really dig into the top reasons that make it stand out. That's a pretty bold question, right? But honestly, when you start looking at the numbers, Germany makes a seriously compelling case for itself. And there are a few key figures that tell the whole story. And this is the first one, and it's a huge one. 0. That's right, €0. That's how much you'll typically pay in tuition fees for most degrees at public universities. You just pay a small administrative fee each semester, and that often includes a public transport pass. I mean, compared to places like the US or the UK, this is an absolute game changer. And you definitely won't be on this journey alone. Germany is home to a massive, vibrant, and growing community of over 400,000 international students. You're not just moving to a new country, you're stepping into the super diverse global academic culture. Okay, but what about after graduation? This is where Germany really shines. Once you finish your degree, you get a full 18 months, a year and a half to stay in the country and find a job. So think about it. This isn't just about getting a piece of paper. It's about getting a clear shot at launching your career in the biggest economy in Europe.
All right, the benefits are pretty clear. So the next big question is, how do you actually get in? Let's clear up any confusion and walk through the application process.
Now here's a word you absolutely need to know, Studienkolleg. For a lot of students, especially from outside the EU, your high school diploma might not be seen as a direct equivalent to the German version. If that's the case, you'll do this 1-year foundation course. It's basically a bridge to get you completely up to speed and ready for university in Germany. And this slide right here is super important, because this could be your exact pathway. You see, if you have a diploma like the Taujihi, you'll almost certainly need that 1-year student college. But if you've got an IB diploma or the right combo of A-levels, you could jump straight into university. That saves you a whole year and a lot of effort.
Okay, listen up, because timing is everything. The main application period is May through July for the winter semester, which is when most people start. But here's the key takeaway, especially for students from the MENA region. You need to start this whole process at least 6 to 8 months ahead of time. I'm not kidding. Visa processing can take a while.
And that leads us perfectly into what can feel like the most daunting part of this whole adventure, the visa. But honestly, don't sweat it. We're going to break down exactly what you need to do step by step. The biggest thing you need for a student visa is proof of financial support for your first year. And for 2025, that magic number is €11,208. Now, this isn't a fee you pay to someone. It's your own money that you put into a special blocked account. It's basically Germany's way of making sure you can just focus on your studies without worrying about money.
The process might look complicated, but it's really not. First, you pick an official provider. Second, you deposit the money. Third, they send you the confirmation letter you need for your visa appointment. And then, once you're in Germany, that money is released back to you in monthly chunks of €934. It's your guaranteed living allowance for the year. Simple as that.
If you take away one thing about the visa, let it be this. Start early. Seriously, visa appointments at the embassies can get booked up for months, and the paperwork takes time to process. Waiting until the last minute isn't just a risk, it could totally derail your plans to start on time. So, you've got your admission letter. Your visa is stamped in your passport. Congratulations! Now we get to the really fun part. What's it actually like to live in Germany as a student? Let's talk about where you'll live and how to manage your money. Your first big task will be finding a place to live. The two most common options are student dorms, which are cheap, but everyone wants one, or a shared apartment, which in Germany is called a WFG. WFGs are awesome for meeting people, but finding one can be tough. So here's a pro tip. The moment that acceptance letter hits your inbox, go apply for a dorm immediately. So, how much money do you actually need each month? Well, most students get by on somewhere between 950 and 1,200 euros. As you can see from the chart, your rent is going to be the biggest slice of the pie by far. And remember that slice for health insurance? It's mandatory for all students, so that's a fixed cost you've got to factor in every single month.
All right, a quick cultural tip for you, and this one's a biggie: punctuality. In Germany, being on time isn't just a nice to have, it's a sign of respect. Whether you're going to class or just meeting up with friends, if you say you'll be there at 2 o'clock, be there at 2 o'clock.
And what if you want to earn a little extra cash? You're in luck. The rules are super clear and pretty generous. As an international student, you're allowed to work up to 120 full days or 240 half days every year. It's a fantastic way to get some work experience and boost your budget.
Okay, let's fast forward. You've worked hard, you've passed your exams, and you've got that world-class German degree in your hand. What's next? This is where the real adventure begins.
The German economy is an absolute powerhouse, and it's hungry for skilled professionals. If you're studying anything in engineering, IT, healthcare, or green energy, you're not just earning a degree, you are basically training for a job market that is actively looking for someone with your exact skills. And this right here? This might just be the ultimate prize. Once you land a good job in your field, you can get something called an EU Blue Card. This not only lets you work across the European Union, but it puts you on a fast track to getting permanent residency in Germany in as little as 21 months if your German is good. It's an incredible long-term opportunity. So there you have it. We've gone through the whole journey, from that first question of why Germany, all the way to the amazing career path that waits for you at the end. It's a pretty unique package of quality education, affordability, and life-changing opportunity. The only question left is the one you see on the screen.